You know, some stories don't just scare you, they get inside your head. They work because they take something totally normal from your everyday life and just twist it. We're about to deconstruct a viral Hindi horror story that does exactly that. And trust me, by the end of this, you might just think twice about your next late night ride home. So let's dive in.
And right off the bat, the story hits you with this question. It's so simple, but so unsettling, right? It takes this mundane act of booking a cab, something we've all done, and it just plants this little seed of doubt. It's the perfect way to hook you in. So let's meet the person who's about to find out the answer. All right, so here's our protagonist. Her name is Nisha. She's 26, works as a content moderator. Just picture it. She's coming off a brutal late night shift. She is completely wiped out, and the only thing she can think about is getting home to her bed. We've all been there, and that's the point. The story grounds itself in that feeling we all know so well. If I could just get a cab. I mean, come on, who hasn't felt that deep in their soul after a long day? This is so smart, because in this one moment, Nisha becomes us. We're right there with her, exhausted, vulnerable, just wanting to go home. And that's exactly why what happens next feels so personal. So she books a ride. A name pops up on her phone, Mahesh Patil. And she gets this little flicker of recognition, like, that name sounds familiar. It's not outright scary, but it's that first tiny little thread that gets pulled in the fabric of her normal night. This isn't just a random driver. And that's where the creepy feeling really begins. And then, check this out. It's not just that his name is familiar. She realizes he's been her driver for the past 3 nights in a row. Okay, once is random. Twice, that's a coincidence. But 3 times, no way. That feels like a pattern. It feels like something is off. So what does she do? She gets in the cab. I mean, you would too, right? You're tired, you just want to get home. But this is the exact moment her normal, boring ride starts to, well, glitch. And reality just begins to fall apart, piece by tiny piece. And look how the story does it. It's not one big jump scare. It's all these little things, layered on top of each other. First, he takes a wrong turn into some creepy, deserted industrial park. Then, the radio starts playing a news broadcast from years ago, like 2012. She sees the same billboard for a temple, over and over again. And of course, the GPS on her phone freezes. These are all the modern things we rely on to feel safe, and they're being taken away one by one. Okay, so just when she feels totally cut off from the world, a message pings on her phone. It's from her friend, Sana, and for a second you think, phew, okay, a lifeline, a connection to reality, but nope. This lifeline is about to turn into an anchor, pulling her even deeper into this nightmare. And this is where things get truly terrifying. Sana calls her, freaking out, because while Nisha is in this cab 10 minutes away from work, Sana is standing at the office gate looking right at Nisha, who apparently never even got in a car. So, how can she be in 2 places at once? Her entire sense of reality just implodes. We've officially left spooky cab ride and entered full-on psychological horror. So let's recap. Her phone's dead. Reality doesn't make any sense. She is completely trapped in this car with a driver who is clearly not just a driver. And just when you think it cannot possibly get any worse, he finally starts to speak. And right before he talks, they see a police checkpoint up ahead. A moment of hope, right? She could scream for help, but as they get closer, poof, it just vanishes into thin air. This is the story's way of telling us, and her, that the normal rules are gone. There is no logical escape. The threat is 100% supernatural. And then she looks at the car's dashboard clock, and the numbers freeze. 3:33 a.m. You know, the witching hour. That's not just a coincidence. She's not just trapped in a car anymore. She's trapped in a single, terrifying moment in time. His time. And this is when Mahesh, the driver, finally tells her his story. And it's not what you think. He's not some evil spirit. He was a regular driver who, a year ago, got into a fatal accident right near that temple. And ever since, he's been stuck. Stuck in a loop, reliving his last ride over and over again. And suddenly, this scary story becomes incredibly tragic. So, hearing this, Nisha does something pretty amazing. Instead of just panicking, which, let's be honest, we all would, she feels empathy for him. She understands that he's trapped, and she realizes that maybe the only way she can get out is to help him get out. She decides she has to do something to break the cycle. And she tells him, take the car back. Go back to the temple where it happened. I just love this part. Instead of running away from the source of the horror, she tells him to drive straight into it. She's decided that the only way out is through. What she does next feels almost like a ritual. She gets out of the car at the temple, finds the prayer bell, and she prays for him, for his soul to find peace. Then she rings that bell with every ounce of strength she has left. It's this one last, desperate, beautiful act of hope, trying to end the nightmare for both of them. And then everything just goes black. The next thing she knows, she hears a voice, and someone is shaking her shoulder. "Madam, wake up." It's the security guard from her office. She's not in a car. She's on a bench, right where she started, with her bag and phone beside her. So, was it all just a dream? A crazy, stress-induced hallucination? And for a second, you feel this huge wave of relief wash over you. Phew. Okay. It was just a horrible dream. It makes sense. But the story is just playing with us. It gives you this perfect, logical out right before it yanks the rug out from under you, with one final, absolutely skin-crawling twist. I mean, look at all the evidence screaming it was a dream. Her phone is magically on again with plenty of battery. Sanner calls and confirms that the cab she ordered was canceled. Every single logical part of your brain is telling you, don't worry, none of that was real. It's the perfect setup. So, a little later, she's in the elevator with Sanna, probably laughing it off, feeling a little silly. She's casually scrolling through her phone, not even thinking about it, and she opens her photo gallery. And that's when she sees it. The one thing that proves it wasn't a dream at all.
There's a new photo on her phone, a photo that she didn't take. And you look at the timestamp, 3:33 a.m., the exact time the clock in the car had frozen. The photo itself is taken from the back seat of the cab. The driver's seat is empty, but when you look closer, you look in the rearview mirror. And there he is, Mahesh. He's looking right back at the camera, at her, with this tired smile. And that is such a masterstroke of an ending. No jump scare, no scream, just this quiet, haunting, impossible image. It's like a thank you note, or maybe a souvenir, from a journey she was never supposed to take.
And that brings us right back to where we started, to that question. But now it feels a whole lot heavier, doesn't it? It's a chilling reminder that some journeys don't just take you from point A to point B. Some take you somewhere else entirely, and you might not ever fully come back.